Everyone, Tammy here. How are you guys doing? It's actually cold where I am, and I know that sounds very strange. Um, Ordinarily, I would be in New Mexico. I've been in Georgia most of this year with family members for health purposes, and just kind of help out with the family. And but I can hardly wait to get back to New Mexico. But aside from that, so yeah, it's like it's been. I mean, it was just so you know. I mean, it's December 2nd, and I don't know, Thanksgiving Day. I was running around in shorts and a tank top. So yeah, it's a little bit different. Woke up and there was frost on the ground this morning, so I'm excited. Finally, it feels like a little bit like winter around here. Anyway, so thanks for being here. Thank you for being here. If you're new to me, welcome. Um, I am very pleased to serve you, and just ask that you let me know what you'd like to hear about, what you'd like to. For me, I'm constantly looking for ways to bring community together, and actually what I'm going to talk about today is part of that. So if there's something that you would like to know more about, by all means, let me know. I have opened up my calendar. I'll put those links in the box below for free 30-minute like interviews, so to speak. Um, Again, if you're new to me, I have a company called my company is Synergessence, and I've created two divisions of that. If you're not new, you probably have already heard this, but I'm just going to go on and explain it. So synergessence it means the cooperative effect throughout nature, and it involves everything. Everything is part of the system. Okay, so I divided it into aromagenomics and heart disposition. And aromagenomics, revolutionary aromatherapy, is really about working with the epigenome, supporting the epigenetic um, facilities, if you will, actually supporting the stress system, which will activate and regulate the epigenome on many levels. And so in that case where, if we're just like really chilling, having a great time and not emotionally attached to anything, we are in the mode of producing chemicals that help us to thrive and progress and live our healthiest life. And when we get caught up in the distress of life, whether it be mental, emotional, environmental, we become the body shifts into survival mode. And what I do with aromagenomics is it's two things with aromagenomics. One, it's talking about oils, absolutely essential oils, and why essential oils. And I invite you to go back and look at some of the other videos. I just did one over the weekend that was about the mission of aromagenomics. It's a long one, so but in that I kind of disclose my why aromagenomics and the mission behind that. And I also provide a little bit of some ideas in there. Please know, if you are new here and you're looking for essential oil suggestions, you've come to the wrong place. I have stopped giving generalized essential oil recommendations, simply because of the epigenome. And so there is no one size fits all oil for anybody. So that said, aromagenomics is number one about learning how to use essential oils based on their chemistry as it applies to the epigenome. Okay, and the epigenome, there again, is our regulation system. It is constantly adapting to the environment, both internally and externally, meaning the external environment is impacting it. The internal environment has to make changes, whether it's to regulate your blood pressure, to start a menstrual cycle, to regulate your breathing, to drop you into sleep. This is all part. These are all functions of the epigenome that the epigenome modulates. Okay, so oils are necessary given the state of our world, emotionally and environmentally. Okay, but the second component to aromagenomics is in fact coaching. And the reason for the coaching is because there's a belief system that we have around the way we approach healthcare. In fact, I'm getting ready to write a blog post on why using the same oil or the same oils on a regular basis is actually stressing the body. Okay, so aromagenomics also aims to coach us into a more expansive belief system. And so it helps to break up those theories, those ideas that we have in our mind based on history, based on what books and websites are suggesting, and really beginning to dig in and personalize your use again for your healthiest life yet. So that is aromagenomics. And then I have heart disposition, like I mentioned. And heart disposition is really about emotional resiliency, emotional fitness, developing emotional leadership skills and strength, because when we can do that, we now also can step into a healthier life, because those emotions, when we are run by them, and they're and in this world, it's an emotional roller coaster. Okay, and what's even worse is we have we have an ass backwards belief system, which is really about, and it's a separatist kind of thing. It's one of division, and I mean this with all due respect, because I don't necessarily believe, for the most part, people are doing this maliciously. We just don't seem to understand how we are separating ourselves from one another through blame and judgment. Labels, okay. A diagnosis is a label that boxes you into something, and there again, this is where aromagenomics comes in. I had somebody call me recently with questions and was concerned that it was one health condition, and I had to encourage her not to get boxed in, cornered into that diagnosis, because that would immediately begin to limit her options, because people are going to be telling her what she needs to do about that specific condition, when in fact it's the whole system that really would benefit to be addressed. Okay, so that we do the same thing with our emotions, and we don't even realize we're doing it. We've become so accustomed to judging and blaming that even in our languaging, we don't understand that we're doing this. And that's what really brought me to this video today. Was I was driving with somebody who had news talk radio. I have to say, if you're one of these people that likes to listen to the news and watch the news and that's all you do, I don't know how you do it. I just don't know how you do it, because I listen to it and it's just like the narrative and it hurts. It just actually hurts to listen to. I mean, I don't even read stuff on the internet any longer with regards to the news. I mean, if I start to scan something, and I can, I can almost make out who, what belief system actually wrote it. It's we're constantly pigeonholing people and targeting people, and it's painful. And so today I was in the car, like I said, and there was the radio program on, news radio, and it was about, they stole this from you. I mean, it was very politically biased. Okay, and it's all I kept hearing was they stole. I mean, I even wrote it in my book. They stole. See, they stole. That was all I kept hearing was they stole, and um, that so and so took this from you, and this is and this is why you feel the way you do. I mean, it was a victim statement. It was generating a victim mindset. Okay, it was coming from a victim mindset, and it was attempting or promoting victim mindset is a better way to say it. It was promoting the victim mindset. And so when we start pointing at, and all I could think was, well, nobody stole anything from anybody. I mean, if I physically come in and I take something from you, okay, that's thievery. Okay, but withholding information, for instance, okay, or providing misinformation. Okay, so this was what they were saying. They were stealing the truth from you. They were stealing the truth from you. They were stealing the truth. They stole the truth from you. That's all I kept hearing. And I thought, nobody stole the truth from anybody. Okay, somebody lied. Okay, somebody withheld information. So stinking what? If we're so gullible to believe it, then the onus is on us, right? Not and if you want to blame somebody, blame yourself, because you believed something. And I'm not trying to be inflammatory here. I'm trying to make a point that we've got to start taking responsibility for what we're consuming. If somebody is out there giving it, and look, it's all over the place. Like, being here with my dad and seeing and hearing, more importantly, because I really try to stay up here in my little cubby. Um, Back around the corner there's no, I mean, this right here, this TV never goes on, never turn it on. Down around the corner, there's no door there. So anything that comes filtering up the stairs, and I hear everything. And it's constantly promoting victim mindset. And it hurts me to listen to him. He's 83 years old, and the things that he says, it's just mind blowing. And the things that he's believing. And I can understand why the country has gotten to the point where we're constantly at odds with one another, because there's people saying things out there, and you know, you have to forgive me, because it's very difficult for me to actually be able to align myself with one thought or one belief system, or go, yeah, I'm 100% behind you. Whatever you say is, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I just can't do it. I never have been able to do that. Even as a child, I couldn't do that. I ran circles around Sunday school because I couldn't do that. I was asking questions about everything, and then exploring, and then researching, and then so it's very hard for me to get behind somebody's belief system and then just like glom on and like, okay, let's go for the ride, let's go for the long haul. So when I hear this stuff, and it's just puzzling to me, when I know how many people are either aligned with this side or with that side, and this side says all kinds of stuff about this side, right? Some of it's embellished, some of it's with, they're hiding bits and pieces of it to shape it. Okay, the same thing's happening the other direction. I mean, I actually pissed him off the other night when I was listening to something. Please pray for me, because he, it's on all the time, and it's really actually very helpful in the sense that I'm just really glad that I can see beyond this. That I have this. I'm finding it easier and easier to expand beyond the this narrow-mindedness. But I actually said everybody's calling each other a liar. I mean, that's all I'm hearing. It's like the left is accusing the right of being a liar. The right is accusing the left of being a liar. So we live in a world of liars, right? So you hear on the radio that they stole truth from you. Well, here's the deal. We've got to stop blaming. If you, and like I said earlier, if you want to blame anybody, blame yourself, but don't even go there. Understand the fact that you really, really, I mean, what is it about you that would compel you to believe something that somebody else said before yourself? And you could even before you go there, when they say something to you, notice how you feel on the inside. Okay? Does that like sit, yeah, solid, yeah, I can get behind that. Or, and even if that's the initial reaction, when you step away from that person, because keep in mind, our energies interact. Okay. So let's just say you're in it. Yes, got it. And then you guys go on your merry ways separately, and you walk away. And you're like, I'm not so sure I get that. I'm not so sure that I agree with that. So then you want to check in with yourself and find out, well, what is it that you're disagreeing with? What is it that doesn't sit right with you? What do you think is actually going on? What do you think? This is, just a self check in. And in which case, if you don't believe what they're saying, whatever you do, stop feeling guilty about not believing what somebody else said. Now we have options. We can either go back to that person and go, okay, well, why don't you give me some facts? Why don't you show me some evidence to back up your statement? Or just let it go and stand strong in what you believe. But this whole thing that we're doing to one another by this person did this, and again, I don't believe this radio announcer was being malicious. I mean, he's bought into this pointing fingers kind of mentality, and when they stole this information from you, they stole the truth from you. And the truth, the fact is that if we buy into a story that's untrue, the onus is on us. And so all we can do at that moment is begin to go, okay, wow, why did I give my power away? Why did I give myself freely to somebody else's belief before I even checked in with my own? And why didn't I even investigate my own beliefs? This is where we create alignment, and this is where integrity shows up. And the more that we just do, and it doesn't have to be a very long, drawn out experience. I mean, you can certainly just kind of check in with yourself. It made, and you don't have to like just sit there and focus on it either. You can actually just consider it, go about your business, and see what comes up. But whatever we do, I think the most important thing for us is to stop looking outside of ourselves and pointing fingers and accusing people of lying. We're never going to change other people. We don't have control over other people. This actually is built into aromagenomics. We don't even have control over the body. Okay, so we don't have control over how other people deliver information. And if people are going to lie, this is something I learned a long time ago, and I explored it within myself because I felt like I remember sitting one day in the car right outside the grocery store, and I had just was it just hit me. I'd been lied to so many times, and that particular day, I was one more time, and I was just hysterical. I'm like, why does this keep happening? But instead of looking at why this continued to happen, I looked at what is this bothering me? This is what's got me here. How do I lie to myself? If I'm experiencing all of this lying and it's affecting me so profoundly, then where am I still lying to myself? And because I realized I can't stop these people from lying. I mean, you just can't. We can get mad at them, we can accuse them of it, and all it's going to do is create more resistance. So the best thing that we can do is to begin to look at ourselves and and if it these and whatever your gripe is about this, if it is in fact lying, what is it about you? Where are you still holding back with yourself? Right? Withholding information? How are you still withholding information from yourself? Maybe it is your own, maybe it is what you really believe. Are you holding back on your own beliefs? But this thing of outward projection, if we want to build emotional resilience and we want to and we want to, I mean, because look, this world is becoming increasingly unstable, and the only stability is going to be within ourselves, and the only way you're going to find that is to really kind of anchor into who you are and what is meaningful to you, what your beliefs are, regardless even if nobody else thinks the way you do, it's okay. And there may be inklings of similarity between people. It doesn't make you less or worse or better than. It simply makes you you. Okay, and we can still get along with other people with different. I mean, I think that's part of the reason why we have so much division, is because we are all on some level aching to belong somewhere. We're aching for acceptance, and all of this comes back to the inside, where we don't accept ourselves, where we don't feel like we fit in. But these are stories we're telling ourselves. But in order to feel like we fit in and are accepted, we end up finding ourselves surrounded. We will adopt other people's beliefs just to feel like we fit in. I had the same thing. This is exactly what happened to me when I got hooked into drugs. I mean, it was just a matter of wanting to feel like I belong somewhere. So the at the time, it's a pivotal point in our timeline. It's a real pivotal point in our timeline, and learning how to relinquish control of others, relinquish the control that we don't have on anything other than ourselves. And as I said earlier, we don't have control over the body. We can support the body, but we have no control over nature. We want to try. I mean, good Lord knows we're trying all over the place, and in some places we're succeeding a little bit. Okay, but that's the point of this post coming up. Regarding oils and stressing the body, because it's an attempt to control. So, how do we? I don't have any oil suggestions for blame. I really, really don't. Other than to ground yourself maybe with some myrrh. I will throw that one out there. Myrrh, vetiver, sandalwood would be some really great ones to ground. Those are fairly safe with medications, I will say that much. So regardless of whether or not, oh, and maybe some Roman chamomile to boot. But those would be the four: vetiver, sandalwood, myrrh, and Roman chamomile. They're safe to use with medications, and it would be at least a calming, grounding kind of blend. And if you want to learn more about blending, check out that the mission of aromagenomics, because I do talk about blending in there, and there's a segment on that, and how to apply them. All right. And also, if you have, I also offer up some documents in that. If you want them, please let me know. And in the meantime, join me over at Heart Disposition. I have a private Facebook group, and I want to do live discussions. Actually, now that I'm thinking about this, about the emotional engineering, this emotional manipulation that we're doing to one another without even realizing it, and how they are using our emotions against us. And if you haven't already read Brave New World, I highly suggest it. We could even bring that into the discussion, but I would love to have live discussions. And if we can do a room, I'm going to try to do a room where we can actually see one another. If we can't see one another there, I'll take it to Zoom. But in the meantime, I would really love for you to join me on Heart Disposition, because I think having these conversations about how how our emotions are being used against us is essential. Because once we begin to recognize the extent to which our emotions are driving us, at that point, we now can learn how to use them to our advantage and really strengthen our emotional body. So there's that. And also, like I said, for aromagenomics, well, either one, I'm offering 30-minute free consults, interviews, to see if if you'd like to pursue something further on those. 30, it's the calendar's there, book them, and we'll do it on Zoom. And I look forward to meeting you there, and we can see if either one of these programs continues to be a fit for you, or if you just want to continue on with the Facebook group. It's totally cool. Anyway, you guys take care. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you soon.